Scotty, beam me up.
Oh. Smash. Get over here.
It is pointless to resist.
Welcome to the Geek Den. We got the Greasy Spoon, Mad Mage, Surly Smurf, and G.I. Joe in the house. We are going to talk about some movies, some games, all kinds of shit tonight. We're not all fucked up like we were last week.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, we're gonna be like 4 peas in a pot pie.
A very,
Yes.
very crazy
A delicious,
pot, but a pot.
delicious pot pie.
Pot pie.
That segue is better than your pie.
You still hung up on pies, Matt?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
As Americans in our fucking sorcery.
No.
Word sorcery. Yep.
You make sure
Runes.
your runes are up. Okay. Okay.
I'm not even pointing at any of them.
All right. But, okay, so possible spoilers ahead. Joe, I know you haven't seen the movie, but I want to try to talk about this so that we don't really spoil it, because we can talk about the characters and stuff.
You guys
and how they
can talk
fit in with
about
the
it.
games.
Okay. Well, here's what I'll say. You guys can talk about it because I watched New Rockstars earlier do a video breakdown of it, so I know what
right on.
happens in the movie. So it's all
Okay.
good. You know, I'm gonna watch
All right.
it still, but you guys can talk about it. It's fine.
Right.
I knew what happened in Spider-Man: Far From Home before I watched the damn thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So our friend Taylor hit me up with a question. Well, it wasn't even really a question. She just goes, "You need to throw this out there into the universe because the world needs to know what you guys' opinions are." And I was like, okay. And that question is, who will play Johnny Cage in the next Mortal Kombat movie? Opinions, fellas. I want to hear them. I've been itching all night.
My heart wants to say Keanu Reeves, but I think he's too old.
Yeah. Probably not.
You're not even gonna expect my answer. You're really not.
I wait with bated breath, brother.
Yeah.
Honestly, the one person I could see pulling it off, you're gonna hate me, because I'm gonna bring his name up. Honestly, The Miz. He has the
I heard about
attitude.
that.
Yeah.
Heard about
The
that.
That's
attitude.
exactly what I was going to say.
Do it.
Because his wrestling persona is the exact same as Johnny Cage.
Exactly.
Arrogant,
He's got that
flashy,
cocky.
nobody can
Yep.
beat me.
Yep. See that?
He'd be the perfect guy to play Johnny Cage, I feel.
He would.
Unless
You know,
it was
they-
like 1983 and Van Damme was in his prime.
Yeah.
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 I don't
100%.
think I don't think the person they get has a name, you know.
Who?
I think that an absolute nobody. Just get a really pretty guy, and no one's gonna know his name, and that's gonna be it.
Yeah, that's probably what they'll end up doing if I had to guess. But honestly, as much as I hate the character, not Johnny Cage, but as much as I hate the Miz ring character, he would be perfect for the role, I feel.
Let me ask you guys.
He wants to do it.
I haven't watched wrestling in forever. Is Miz is he a heel
Yes.
Yeah.
For the
Okay.
most part. Yeah.
for the most part?
But,
He's never been
he
a
was-
good guy.
No, from time to time, yeah, but he's not very good at it. Like the kind of wrestler he is, like just the way he carries himself, like he makes a perfect bad guy in wrestling.
Okay, is
Like,
he like one of
people-
those guys? If he is a good guy, it's like purely by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's also
like,
very
it's for-
Hollywood.
it's strictly for storyline purposes. Like,
Okay.
if they ever flip him as a good guy, it's because they have nothing else better to do. But he is the perfect bad guy because everybody hates him, and so it just works for Johnny Cage in that role, especially.
I got to agree with you, dude. I got to agree with
Yeah.
you.
And so, I don't know.
If you're allowed to assemble a dream cast, then absolutely.
Right.
But I think that it's easier for them to accept bad acting as a criticism more than poor casting.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see him. Name one actor in that movie that you've seen in anything else besides Jax.
Besides Jax. Okay. Well, the guy Jax fights with the big mallet.
Yeah, Reiko.
Like, yeah, Reiko. I couldn't remember his name, but he's actually played by Nathan Jones, who is in a bunch of other shit. He's a big 6'9", 6'10" Australian dude.
He's a big dude.
Huh?
Hey,
He's a really big dude.
He
wasn't
really is.
wasn't the guy that played Scorpion? He was the head of the Yakuza in Avengers Endgame. That one that Hawkeye faced off against was Ronin.
That's true.
Yeah. Fuck, I didn't
And
think about that.
and
corrected.
and was it Lord Raiden? I think he's in MCU movie too. God.
I'm
wanna
looking
say.
that shit up because I don't know.
Yes. No. Yeah. I think. Okay. I know about Scorpion,
Right.
Mm.
but there's
Well,
another one.
Let me tell you, that was probably my favorite portrayal of Scorpion that I've ever seen. Because, like, besides the video games, of course, because the video games, they're the video games. That's where, that's Mortal Kombat. But
Mhm.
specifically, like, the legacy editions of the games, like, from, like, 2011 on, like, this movie really fits that storyline.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Well,
true to that.
based on the 7 minutes they released before they released the movie and just the clips I've seen, Hanzo Hasashi, I bought him as a character, as a person, not just a faceless ninja that shoots a harpoon out of his fucking hand and roasts you with his fucking skull face.
Right.
I think they added a lot of depth into every character they did, even if it was a small character. Like not that they added depth, but they made him completely different, pull him off. So you weren't dealing with like you said, 5 people at a time. I think that was my favorite way they approached that movie. Adding people in little bits at a time, like keeping the story. The original ones were so like screwy and like they were starting to mess with like CGI and technology, and it didn't work.
That harpoon that came out of the original Scorpion's hand from the first movie just smacked of, oh god, I could tell that's fake. It's CGI.
It wasn't even a fucking harpoon. It was like a Venus.
It was a
flytrap.
weird lizard creature thing.
It was fucking weird. It was like, that's not Scorpion. It's a harpoon.
That's what I mean. Like they
It's a dagger head.
they were so into the effects that they left the story out. It made no fucking sense, and like they.
Yep. Absolutely. But another actor, like going back to the Johnny Cage thing real quick, I thought maybe I'm going out on a limb with this, but Stephen Amell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see it.
Shaved up, yeah, man.
1,000%.
Like I think he'd make a great Johnny Cage.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm not gonna argue that.
Like, I don't know if that's something he would want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a guy that a critic's going to have a hard time picking on him as a choice.
Yeah.
I think my internet connection's eating it here, boys.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little.
Yeah, you sounded robotic.
Yeah.
Let me try something here.
And
Skynet is
technology.
online.
You rotten whippersnappers.
Skynet became
nerds.
self-aware.
That should be way better.
All right. Hey, well, so what were you saying, Matt?
What was I saying? Oh, darn. Oh, Stephen Amell. I'm sorry. Picking a guy like him, you'd have a hard time as a critic chewing on that. Like it would be really hard to pick him apart because he's a great actor. He's a nice dude. And you're right, he would get him those shiny sunglasses and he would nail that.
Yeah, and he's done that action hero thing. What for? How many? He was on Arrow for what, 8 seasons? And
Yeah.
I'm sure he could learn a little bit of martial arts, and he'd be perfect, in my opinion. I'm with you, dude, 1,000%.
No, and that's why I originally brought up The Miz too, because like he has a little bit of experience in like real crappy acting, and like so does Johnny Cage, and
Exactly.
attitude is just.
He's not going to need a bunch of martial arts because the way he fights is all Hollywood, right? Like it's
all It's supposed to look choreographed, but while everybody else is supposed to look like they know what the fuck they're doing.
But he's also a pompous ass, like just.
Yes.
Yeah, he is Johnny Cage.
I think Miz probably better.
He really wants to do it.
Yeah.
Like he straight up wrote Warner Brothers and was like, I want to play Johnny Cage.
And
It's crazy.
the Punk Rock Geek Den wants him to play Johnny Cage.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it.
He has our full support.
And if they don't want Miz, then Stephen Amell.
I have a criticism of the movie that if I just watched it once, I wouldn't even have thought of it. And the more I watched it, the more I saw it, is so much of the character development for the other characters was sacrificed for the Scorpion story.
Yeah.
Not only that, but to develop the Scorpion story, they plugged a character in that didn't exist. I mean, it's Mortal Kombat, so there's like 85 characters in the franchise. It's nuts. I just bought Mortal Kombat 11. It is absolutely ridiculous now.
That's such a great game. That's such a great game.
The thing is I didn't particularly like the character. No, the character was fine, I guess. I didn't like the Mortal Kombat character, like with the powers. He was badass against Goro, but you didn't develop Jax. You didn't develop Sonya Blade because you were developing this guy that you made up.
Yeah. No,
for
you're
the
right.
Scorpion story.
You're right.
And I love the Scorpion story in this one. I just wish, because doing him meant no Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point because you don't even really know where they came from. Like in this kind of
I wasn't sure who the hell he was supposed to be in the beginning.
Nobody.
You know, is this supposed to be fucking Liu Kang? Like, what are they doing here? And then they got into the story, and I was okay, it makes sense, but why?
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong. I love how it all connected in the end and worked out.
Yeah. To me, it's a small criticism. Yeah.
I'm still a fan of the movie. I mean, they hit so many other little boxes, I thought. Because the other thing is, Mortal Kombat is known for gory fighting, not for character development, not for any kind of storyline. Nobody picks up Mortal Kombat like, I wonder how this story goes. Blood. That's how this story goes. That's it. And the movie hit that right on the head. But the other thing I noticed, if you guys are into Easter eggs at all, and if you've ever played a Mortal Kombat game against somebody who's so fucking cheap and button mashy that you just had to hit him at least one time in real life.
Are you talking about that goddamn leg sweep?
Yes. Liu Kang does that to Kano 3 times in the movie, and it's just like in the video game.
It's fucking hilarious.
I saw the clip. Brilliant. But the best thing is he's walking at him, and he goes, "Don't you do any Harry Potter shit." Fuck me.
Yeah, Kano. Yeah, he's one of my talking points here actually, because I wanted to talk about Kano. Like, I love how they did Kano in this movie. As
Yeah.
soon as he started talking, I knew who the fuck it was. I was like, oh, it's Kano.
A surly Australian dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And
With a
I
fucking
think-
bionic eye.
Yeah.
here's the thing with that, Joe. He develops that later in the movie.
Is that what are those enhancements called that they develop as they progress through the
Okay.
movie?
So in this movie, they call it their Arcana.
Mm.
Arcana,
But,
that's right.
Like, everybody who has that has like the Mortal Kombat dragon head logo thing, like on their body somewhere.
Birthmark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's just a marking saying you're going to Mortal Kombat. And you're probably going to die.
Fair point.
Free tattoo.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But Kano
Enjoy it
wasn't
while it
even supposed to
lasts.
have it. Kano got it,
Got it
killed
back,
somebody
so-
that had it. And it came over to him. And that's how Sonya Blade ended up getting it, because she kills Kano. And then, boom, she has her ring, wrist, arm things. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
You saying it like that, James, brings up another thing I really liked about this one. You notice how in the video games there are like 18 of the things now in the franchise,
Something like
and,
that.
and characters from the first one are in the last one, so they don't die.
Right.
But in the first two movies, when they died, they died.
Yeah.
In this one, Shang Tsung says, and you see him do it. It's like death's just a gateway. It's or another portal.
Yep.
So it's just like that's another quarter in the machine, right? Like, okay, I didn't win with Cabal this time, but chink 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 chink. Put those quarters in.
Yep, absolutely. But like, I love another thing about Kano though is like he didn't have his space thingy.
Yeah.
And I was like, does he get that later in the movie? No, they never gave it to him. They just fucked his face up.
Yep.
Eventually, when he comes back, they do.
Yeah, he will come back as a bionic character.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cyborg in the next one. Maybe not the next one, but definitely down the line.
Well, just think of how she took him out really hard. He's got to come back with that metal thing on his eye this time.
Yeah, absolutely.
that is the best weapon in the whole movie.
Okay, moving on to the next character, Sub-Zero.
Ah, yes, Bihan.
They
Did
nailed him.
Did some research because, you know, as a bad, horrible nerd that I am,
Yeah.
I don't know much about like video game backstories. I just play them and beat the shit out of people with them. You know what I mean? Never really looked into the Mortal Kombat stories of the characters until like the movies. I got really into the movies and was like, okay, what about this guy? What's he all about? And all that shit. And then the newer games were coming out, especially Mortal Kombat 11, and I was like, okay, I really got to dig into it because there's more story to this one. And so,
Yeah.
Bihan, who is Sub-Zero in this movie, eventually becomes Noob Saibot.
Which, by the way, is the name of the creators, Boone and
Yep.
Tobias.
Yep. So Matt, you threw out the Easter eggs at me the other night,
Yeah.
and I watched the movie last night, and I watched it again today, and I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, okay. So in the next movie, more than likely, we're gonna get Sub-Zero 2.
Oh yeah.
Like, but I don't know how they're gonna portray him
Here's something funny now that you bring that up too. When they're fighting at the very end, and this isn't giving anything away, Sub-Zero goes through the 4 different, what do you call them? Like costumes.
Yep.
When you play him throughout the whole game, he's in the blue suit, then he's in the black suit, then he pulls the mask off, then he pulls the armor off.
and he has the streak on his eye. Yeah.
Right.
But that ends up being his brother.
And that's over the whole thing.
Right.
And
But I noticed that too, especially last night, because I made sure I watched that movie. Because a lot of times I'll get distracted on my phone will go off. I'll be talking, you guys, whatever. But I was like, nope, taking that, putting it in the other room, and I'm gonna watch this fucking movie and pay attention to it and write this shit down because we need to talk about it. but I was like, okay, he just turned into Noob Saibot within like 5 minutes. I was just like, son of a bitch. Like, all right. That's how they're gonna do me. All right.
Yes, that's how they're gonna do you.
That's how they're gonna do me.
Those
But
sons of
I
bitches.
thought it was great how they did that though.
Yep.
They segued into that character without actually doing it. You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
So, and then of course, like you told me the other night, Matt, with Goro, he ended up being a little bitch like he always does.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you played Mortal Kombat 1, unless you were a whiz, like a super wizard, you were stuck on Goro for like 3 hours. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It was insane. He just kicked the high holy fuck out of you. And meanwhile, made up character beats him very first fight. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It's all bullshit.
You're doing
He
Goro
broke
dirty.
one of his arms and he just popped it right back together. And then he cut his other arm off, and you see Goro's face go from this mean half dragon bastard to a whiny little baby.
Yeah.
It's like, are you fucking kidding me? This guy is supposed to be able to pick you up and crush your head like a pimple.
Yeah, they really did make him into a bitch in that movie.
You
Maybe
didn't see
even
him
more
kill
than the
one
first.
thing. Not one.
No.
He didn't kill anybody.
No,
Nope.
That's
And it
rather
was,
like a
disappointing.
cameo appearance.
yeah, it's pretty much what it was. It was a cameo.
Yep.
He had more
That-
screen time in the original Mortal Kombat movie than he did in this one.
I bet he kicked more ass in the original movie.
No.
Yeah, he was more of a staple in the original movie. He's more of
Yeah.
like he had like a 5-minute scene maybe in this one altogether.
That's terrible.
But it was actually Jax who did the head popping kill, which
Yeah,
is one of his
Reiko.
finishers. But I was like, that's a Goro thing. He's supposed to pick you up with his bottom arms and then do that with his head. Top
Yeah.
arms.
My
Or
only
beat
thing
the living shit out of you.
about Jax is he's supposed to be like his metal is supposed to match the muscle in the man to make his arms look that big, and like I don't know, it weirds me out. It really looking at him really weirds me out that way. Like it's almost wiry. You know what I mean? Like they could have done that better.
Yeah, I agree there.
The
But
other
yeah,
thing
it
about
weirded
his
me out
finisher,
'cause-
James.
Do what?
Jax did his finisher at the pits. That was the very first level ever in Mortal Kombat. Like everybody could do a fatality at the pits because all you had to do was uppercut him at the end of the fight and down on the spikes.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I was bummed out that we didn't get to see the spike pit.
Yeah,
A little bit.
and I hope that comes soon.
Yeah, we should definitely get that in a future movie.
We should demand it.
Absolutely.
We're gonna write to the directors and Punk Rock Geek done. We're gonna make it official that we're gonna do this.
Hashtag spike pit.
Hashtag
Yep.
and give it to us.
Mhm.
Hashtag spike pit. But, yeah, because in the original movie, you saw the spike pit.
Yeah.
Where Shang Tsung died.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably my favorite scene in that movie.
Yeah.
But
No, I
in all
have
honesty,
to,
do what, Craig?
I have to agree because they weren't really that thrilling to me, but that scene you just described, that's about it.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong though, I love the original movie. I still watch
Yeah, I
it.
love it. It's just it never really thrilled me.
Right.
When I was
When I was
younger.
a kid, sure. When I was a kid, I was like, "Oh my god, Mortal Kombat on a movie." Okay,
Yeah.
I was the same way with Street Fighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then the
I
short-lived
just thought it was badass that my video game characters were on movies now.
And then there was even the short-lived
was-
cartoon series.
Yep. Yeah, the Mortal Kombat cartoon series. That was another one. That was a good
They
one.
got
I
cheated
remember
with
watching
cartoon.
that.
They gave us all the goods and gone.
A Mortal Kombat cartoon series.
Yeah.
Yep. It
Doesn't
was
that
real.
Doesn't that seem counterintuitive? Or because I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, in the mid '90s, they did a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of had a cartoon for
What
everything.
do? Just punch each other?
It was after Mortal Kombat 3 came out, and there was
Yeah,
actually
they had a
storyline
mild
to it.
storyline. I just don't remember it because it was
Yeah, I can't remember it at all. But that's when I found out that the second Sub-Zero was the first Sub-Zero's brother. And then Annihilation came out, and we just won't talk about that movie.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, like Voldemort, he who shall not be named.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong at all.
You are not wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, though, the new Mortal Kombat is really, really good.
Yeah,
And yeah,
Yeah,
I had high hopes. Let me down.
Yeah.
It didn't let me down at all.
I wouldn't
Even
say
with
it matched
critiquing.
all of what I was hoping for, because no movie's gonna do that. They're gonna show you all the good shit in the trailer, and then
yeah.
But with Mortal Kombat, Matt, what'd you say? You gave it like a solid 6.5.
Yeah, I think
6.5
by the end of
out
it,
of
that's
10.
what I would. 6.5.
I'd probably go good. I'd give a generous 8, just because of the nostalgia of it, and I really liked it overall.
I think
there's a few things to nitpick about, but I don't let those bother me too much.
I think more for the storyline, I'd give it an 8. But like expectation wise, I'm not gonna say it let me down at all because it didn't. I mean, there was a few critiques, but I really think they nailed it all the way around. Not a perfect 10, but I'd agree on an 8.
Yeah, good. It blew the original movie out of the water for me.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no argument there.
The original movie definitely does not hold a candle.
No.
I wouldn't think so.
What original movie?
What?
They did a great job, I think, keeping the best parts of the soundtrack from the original and just changing it.
Yeah.
Like, you could still recognize it.
Yeah,
but
they just modernized it a little bit.
Exactly. And fit it to the mood of the movie.
Yeah.
Like it really fit.
Absolutely. Then,
that confused me. It got a message.
Yeah, but definitely, like the soundtrack, it filled in like all the blank spaces in the movie, I feel. Especially with like the little voiceovers, like when Liu Kang kills Cabal, and you hear what did the voiceover say after Cabal died? What the fuck was it? Fatality, Liu Kang wins. And I was just like Leonardo DiCaprio in the chair.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I was just like, all right, cool.
Or even with Kung Lao and the buzzsaw when you
that's cool. the best fatality in the whole fucking movie.
He just walks off flawless victory.
Yeah. And it was like I had to watch it a second time to catch that, but he didn't
get touched once.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not once.
No.
Until Shang Tsung grabbed a hold of him. But yeah, that was just
Your
sad.
soul is mine.
But yeah, when he killed, I can't even remember that character's name, but when he kicked her into into his hat as a buzzsaw.
Nataro.
Yep. Yeah, that's her name. Yeah. And then
that is fucking cool. Using the hat as a goddamn buzzsaw.
Those two characters, I liked what they did with that. They really reached into the games that only had one-offs.
Yeah.
Both Reiko and Nataro, they weren't even in the same game. They're one-offs. I thought that was awesome too.
Yeah, that's what
they
before. I love how they're just kind of adding everybody in, even if it's just for a minute or two. They're kind of getting the whole universe in there.
Well, and if you watch really close in a couple places, they pull other, like they show you other characters. Like when they have their conspiracy board set up and they got the strings all over.
Oh yeah.
There's I think his name's Nightwolf.
Nightwolf, yeah.
Yeah, Nightwolf.
And then when they're in Raiden's temple, not when they're at the coin that Kano steals, just before that scene when Raiden sets the shield.
Yeah.
You look right beside Kano, and what's her name? Melina with the fans. Her fans right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the girl with the big mouth. That's her sister.
I thought the girl with the big mouth was Melina.
Then it's Katana I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Katana has the fan.
Which is ironic because those aren't swords at all.
No.
They're fans. Come on.
They're fans. I saw that Sonya Blade's got a fucking conspiracy board set up like Charlie Day and fucking Always Sunny.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a tournament, damn it.
It's all connected.
I think she even says that.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Of
sure.
course she does.
I'm pretty sure she did.
Oh Lord.
So overall, I'd say we all agree that, although those of us who've seen it would agree that Mortal Kombat is a great movie.
Yeah.
Just based on the clips I saw, I have to agree with you guys. I'm gonna like it when I do get around to watching it.
Yeah.
We will have
It
a
scratches
chance
I'm a
It's
to see
fan.
Mortal
I'm a
Kombat.
fan, so there you go.
No. Like, yeah, I've always been a Mortal Kombat fan. Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
did not disappoint. It didn't. I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure
Do you
there's
guys?
an asshole out there that does, but
Oh yeah. Do you guys have a mutual love? Okay, not to go too far off on a tangent, but do you have a mutual love for Street Fighter, like video game wise, not
I
the
love
movie?
Street Fighter.
It's got a nostalgic place in me, just like
Yes.
Mortal Kombat does. But game to game, I was telling James the other night, I was all in on Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
There's no contest for me.
When you're a teenage boy and you could see blood in a video game, you're like, what is even happening right now? Yeah. And the Street Fighter games seem a little more cartoony, more comic booky.
Street Fighter was definitely tamer. Like Mortal
Is it-
Kombat raised a lot of heads. Like people were
Yeah, and raised a lot of bars. Jeez.
Well, and if you go to Boone and Tobias, they did so much inbuilt shit in Mortal Kombat 3. My mom bought me a subscription to Nintendo Power. And when Mortal Kombat 3 came out and the magazine came in, it had every single finisher and then every fucking weird thing you can do with the game. And in multiplayer, if you won with player one 250 matches and had a finisher in 250 matches in a row, it unlocked Noob Sabbath.
Yep.
And me and a
Wow.
friend sat there for 4.5 hours during one summer holiday and, well, did every single finisher and a bunch of fucking times just to unlock this character. And then you know what? The fucking Super Nintendo overheated, everything shut off, and it was done because you didn't save those games.
Oh no, you had to punch in a code.
No codes.
Oh.
You didn't get a code either?
Nope.
Ah,
I remember with NES, like Punch Out would always throw me a code after I beat King Hippo.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, I'd write it down, but I would never get to where I had to type it in because I could never get past fucking whoever was after King Hippo.
Was it Soda Popinski?
Probably, I can't remember. It's, you know how long it's been since I played Punch Out?
I know it's been forever for me too.
Like I don't think I've touched an NES in fucking 20 years.
Or was it the Bull?
That could have been the bull.
It might have
But
been
there,
I think it was the Bull. That fucking hated that guy.
Yeah.
have you guys
Just
ever
because he
heard of
charged at you. He charged. Ugh.
Have you ever
We
heard
never
of
got
Raspberry Pi consoles?
Raspberry Pi consoles.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
So what you can do, and some fucking NASA scientist in Canada, I thought it was everywhere.
Of course, it's in
But
Canada.
he makes NESs this big.
Yeah.
They're all USB. They have like 85 original NES games on them, and you just plug them into the fucking HDMI on your TV, and you're playing NES like Mario 1, Mario 2, 3,
Zelda?
Bubble Bobble. I think there's a Zelda on there.
It better be.
Castlevania. Okay, and some of the games are like they were the absolute worst. If you had an
They got-
NES and your
They
parents
got
got
Dig
you
Dug.
exactly that exact kind of game.
Did I just hear a Dig Dug reference?
Yes, you did.
Dude, I do though have something
Hard.
that's quite similar to what you're talking about. It's like 600 games in one, with this tiny little Nintendo looking thing, and you just plug it into 2 ports and both audio and video, and that's it.
Yep.
Yes. And then another thing dudes here do, excuse me, a buddy of mine on his Xbox 360, I don't know what he did, but he put some kind of console on the hard drive. He has games that you never even heard of, like Japanese Neo Geo and just the most far out stuff.
Yeah.
But then, like, he had games that I'd only ever seen in arcade too.
Yeah, emulators are pretty cool because they've done so
That's what
much.
it was. Emulator.
Yeah, they have done so much with them, and like you can find thousands and thousands and thousands of games. The problem is you got to pirate them, and that's where it comes down to trouble.
Yeah.
So yeah, my kid's PS3 has been modded out with emulators and shit. He's got all the NES games you can think of on it, and he's got Super NES games. He's got PlayStation.
Much
1.
easier through like a console.
Yeah.
Doing it through a computer is rough.
Yeah.
Oh.
Craig, what's our time looking like? Craig, did you hear me?
Yep.
What's our time looking like?
Let me see here. We're at it isn't giving me any warnings yet, so
Right on.
we could edit this part out. Who cares?
Well,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah, I could just cut this. I could just turn this whole thing off.
Yeah, right on.
Not trimming you. You're staying. Hi, man.
So some of us have gallery view and some of us don't.
No, I don't see. I mean, it doesn't give me anything yet. So
Not right on. But yeah, Street Fighters. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat for me, like, kind of like what Matt said. Like I'm more invested in Mortal Kombat. I would say I wouldn't say I went all in.
Hmm.
You know, but I definitely like
Fair
it
point.
better. Like,
Yeah,
I still love Street Fighter just because I'm a big kid. You know what I mean? Like,
I like Blanca and M Bison. Jesus.
Ken and
Christ.
Ryan.
Honda.
Yeah.
E Honda.
I got pretty good playing
Honda.
Chun Li.
Chun-Li was
Honda.
You guys remember
Yeah,
even better than Street Fighter? Remember Streets of Rage?
Streets of Rage.
Yes.
cool. I don't remember that at all.
Yes.
Where you-
Sounds kind of familiar.
Subway and everything. You were like either the blonde guy or like the big burly redheaded guy. Just like,
Yeah,
basically
I played it
running
on in an
platform game.
arcade. I was
Yeah.
played it on an arcade.
yeah, it was like a running platform, but it was such a
Yeah,
I don't remember that
fucking-
at all.
yeah. You're right, Craig.
Bad dudes.
Yeah, and if you got beat up or something, then you would show you when it went to the screen where continue, put 50 cents or 25 cents in. Your character was like tied up in chains and a ball.
yeah, yeah. It was basically
Streets of
it was
Rage.
basically like
Yes.
the Turtles arcade game.
I haven't thought of
Same
that
I
in
played the
years.
Turtles arcade game.
Me
I
too.
love
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I had it for E NES.
I have it on that.
Same here.
on
Same
there.
here. I like the arcade version on NES, and then there was the other NES Turtles game that sucked.
Yeah,
I had
I know
that one.
exactly.
They could eat a bowl of
Watched
dicks for all I was concerned.
when I was like 8.
I hated it. It was so stupid. The arcade one was badass because you could,
What's that?
I am excited for the new Turtles.
Oh,
Yes.
The
Yes,
new
I
Turtles.
cannot wait.
Say
the New
game
Turtles movie.
No, there's a new Turtles game coming out. New running platform game like 90s.
Oh,
Nice.
okay,
Yeah, that should be good.
nice.
Donatello rules. Boast out all fucking day.
Leonardo leads, Donatello does machines.
Absolutely.
Raphael's cool but rude. Michelangelo is a party
That was a
dude.
party dude.
I'm still hip. I know some
Yes.
things.
Same here. I might be pushing 40, but fuck you. I'm still cool.
It's in the rear view, bro.
Hey, checks in the mail, dude.
So you'll be sending them what, a quarter?
Yeah.
That's like 50
I don't know what the
House
conversion
phone.
rate is, but I'm sure
It's like
it's
50
something.
grand up in Canada, ain't it?
Oh yeah.
25 cents American.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Why not?
Might as well
We'll make it
cash.
work.
We'll figure it out. Matt's having headphone trouble.
We seem to be flowing a little better as opposed to last week.
Absolutely. I don't remember when we started recording.
I don't either. I'm just having fun tonight. This is
I
awesome.
mean, it's been a while. I don't think we have a limit.
No, we're doing pretty good.
But yeah, fucking what we've gotten into so far: Mortal Kombat, fucking Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, Turtles, nostalgia and shit like that.
Yeah.
About some, let's compare Marvel comics and movies.
Before you go on, because I missed out on the nerd out, I'll show you some of my.
Oh yeah.
Oh, please do.
You know what you want to?
Matt's doing show and tell.
Ooh, okay.
What we got?
So when I go into cards and shit, I can't buy just packs. It's a fucking waste of time, and I'm OCD. If I start collecting something, I gotta get them all.
Yep.
So I don't know if you remember these
Wow, that's cool.
Wow.
from 1991. This is a sealed
Box.
box with
Wow.
sealed packages in it. There might even be holograms in here. Don't know.
Oh, no.
We're gonna open it.
Don't open it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Gabby, that was for you. I know you're a Star Trek nut.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's fucking awesome.
Yes. Sissy loves Star Trek.
Yep. And then, oh, Matt's got more shit. I see him digging.
I already showed you guys this in the group, but these are still. Oh yeah.
Your Marvel trading
My
cards. Oh my god.
absolute favorite.
A man after my own heart.
The only ones I'm missing, Joe, are the holograms in this set.
Okay, so I've got some sealed comic books in a box out in the garage that have I have a couple X-Force issues, a couple of X-Men issues, and they have I think I have a hologram card if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
I might be Deadpool, it might be Cable, I don't know. But it's still in the original packaging in the plastic slip cover that it came in, and I put it inside of a board and bag.
Yeah.
It'll never be opened. I'm not even. I have multiple issues, and I'm not going to open them because Deadpool's coming to the MCU, and you know that one that I have that's got a Deadpool card. You can see what card it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you guys sometime. Like when we do another, hey, check out my shit segment.
You guys want to take a break before we move on, or we can stop?
Yeah,
recording?
take a little break.
And now a word from our sponsors.
In the new movie, The Land Before Time, Littlefoot, Sarah, Ducky, and Spike share an incredible journey. Along the way, they become best friends.
Now we'll always be together.
And now these lovable characters can be your child's friends too. With a pizza from Pizza Hut, a Land Before Time dinosaur is only 99 cents. So come to Pizza Hut. Your friends are waiting.
We'll always be together. Pizza Hut! Light bright, turn on the magic of colored lights. Light bright, make a face to glow at night. Smiling friend, shining bright, make a sign to say goodnight.
Just pop in the colored pegs and follow the patterns. It's easy to make your favorite pictures and characters, or you can always create your own light pictures.
Light bright, turn on the magic of shining light.
Light Bright from Milton Bradley.
Welcome back to the Punk Rock Geek Den.
Butthead right before we hit the record button.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe, you and I were talking about how our parents wouldn't let us watch Beavis and Butthead, but we could watch like Terminator 2 and shit like that.
Yes.
Well, why?
You make a good point. I'm failing to understand my dad's rationale for when I was a kid. Oh, you can't watch two like stoner teenagers talking shit during music videos, but it's okay for you to watch Murder, Madness, and Mayhem on Tales from the Crypt every Saturday night, or Terminator 2. You know, Linda Hamilton winds up a fucking skeleton after a nuclear bomb goes off, but two cartoon stoner teenagers saying, diarrhea. That's a no. No, I draw a line in the sand right there, son. Yeah, right. Don't cross it. Don't cross me.
Yeah. No, it was kind of the same way. It was always like I was allowed from a very young age to watch horror movies. It didn't matter, no matter what. It didn't matter. Boobs. It didn't matter. Now, when it came to like Beavis and Butthead and stuff, they were kind of like off about it. They were offended that I was watching it because it was me wrong, I guess. I don't get it.
Yeah.
My parents were pretty gnarly about that kind of stuff. They, I was watching stuff I probably never should have been, but it's not like they're, had my eyelids pulled back and made me watch it. They just.
Yeah, you weren't Alex from fucking Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, they just didn't. I wasn't sheltered. Like they let me watch pretty much anything, and same with the music. They had no problem with my music at all. Actually, that one thing my dad ever had a problem with was the books I read. That's it.
What books music was reading? Pretty big. They didn't like the music I listened to at all. Man,
well, he would have preferred me read everything, and I was just reading one kind of book. And he's like, yeah, that's kind of lame. And so he got me into some pretty good stuff when I was younger. I did more of that than watching inappropriate TV because books are my thing.
Yeah.
See,
you can't tell with that paltry shelf. It's garbage, but
my parents were worried that I wasn't reading enough. Like when I first entered high school and freshman year, then I started reading. I got into reading. I developed an interest and a love for reading by starting with Stephen King. And the very first book of his that I ever read was when he wrote under the pseudonym Richard Bachman, and it was The Regulators.
Well done.
Is anybody familiar with that book?
I've never read it, but I've heard of it for sure.
Oh, it's so good. And then when he wrote as Stephen King years later, he wrote kind of a sequel to it called Desperation, and it deals with this entity from Midworld, which is where, by the way, Roland the Gunslinger is from. And it's called, and the demon, it's a demon-like creature called Tak, T-A-K. And there are little references sprinkled throughout some of his books, a Kanta and a Kantak, big God, little God. Tak, however the hell you pronounce it, is basically a Midworld word for a god, or like a supernatural entity. Yeah, dude, I could talk your guys' ear off about Stephen King. I don't want to just hey, just focus on me talking about Stephen King.
He's a ridiculously prolific author. Like it's bananas how much he puts out and how good it is.
I know he doesn't remember writing Cujo because he was high on cocaine.
Well, sounds like a party.
I know, right? And by the way, James, I see you're wearing a Pet Sematary t-shirt. Yep. And I read that. The book was terrifying. The movie,
great.
Book is so
the book and the movie are actually really good. And I'm talking about the original movie adaptation.
I like the remake too.
I haven't seen it yet.
I know
they flipped it around where Ellie died this time around.
Yeah, but I would definitely recommend it. John Lithgow did a really good in that fucking movie.
Is he playing the role of Judd?
He's Judd. Yeah.
Oh, don't go down there, Creed. There's nothing but bad things down there.
Road.
Off that road there,
A
Creed.
lot of animals die on that road.
You know that was Herman Munster in the original movie?
Of course I know it was Herman Munster.
He was also the judge of My Cousin Vinny.
My Cousin Vinny, man. Fred Gwynn was the best part of that entire fucking movie.
Fred Gwynn, may he rest in peace.
Yep,
may he rest in
absolutely.
peace. He was a national treasure.
Yeah, he was.
Herman Munster.
Mm-hmm.
Herman Munster. But before we took our little intermission of like 3 minutes, I wanted to transfer over and talk about some Marvel movies and comics. Like do a little comparison if we could.
Okay. Some apples and oranges.
Expertise. I'm not like I know enough about the comics to understand the movies. You know?
Okay.
And I love them. Like I love the movies, and what I've read of the comics I've enjoyed. Captain America specifically.
Yeah.
So let's start basically with Captain America. Do me some comparisons, buddy. Well, how do you feel like Captain America First Avenger versus the comics?
I think it was basically spot on, and it was a wonderful movie. Now, the second and third movies I thought were a little bit better because the Russo brothers were behind them. But I give Joe Johnston his due, and he did what he could because the Marvel Cinematic Universe was in its infancy when the first Avenger was made.
That's true.
And chronologically speaking, it is if you're gonna watch the MCU movies in any order, you have to watch Captain America first. That'll change soon when they make the Eternals movie. But see, I'm already going on a tangent.
Go away.
Yes. But I loved the first Avenger, and it's so cool to see like we just finished watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, and you get to see where Bucky came from.
Yeah.
Like Bucky's one of my favorite characters in all the MCU. Like when I saw him when they unmasked him in Winter Soldier, and Steve's like, Bucky? And he just looks at him, fucking dead face, like, who the hell is Bucky? Yeah. And like, oh my God, they're doing Ed Brubaker's run from the comic books. Jesus Christ, this is fucking awesome. By the way, justice for Ed Brubaker. I heard him on Kev's podcast a couple weeks ago, and he's not getting any fucking love from Disney or fucking Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad, but let's stay on point.
Yep.
First Avenger, great movie. Winter Soldier, fucking awesome. Civil War, holy shit. Black Panther, Spider-Man, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's basically Avengers 2.0.
You do what?
Civil War was basically Avengers 2.0.
Yeah, because it had everybody in it.
Yeah. But you really got to see the beginning of Sam and Bucky's friendship. Even though they were more frenemies than anything. Like when Spider-Man webbed him to the ground, and like, I hate you.
Yeah.
Did you know he could do that? I hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And then,
James, I could talk your fucking ear off about the MCU. I really could.
All right, moving on to Iron Man.
All right.
It's easily the best cast movie in the whole franchise.
Iron Man.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Chef's kiss. Mwah. Chef's kiss.
Iron Man.
The only other superhero better cast than Tony Stark and Iron Man, and this is not MCU. You have to leave the MCU for the only other one that was this good was Hugh Jackman as Logan in X-Men.
Agreed.
Yeah, he was
only other time.
Agreed, 1,000%. And then in number 3, I would say probably Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne Batman.
See, I love.
Is that a hot take? Is that a hot take?
I love Christian Bale as Batman. Him and Michael Keaton for me are the Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Michael Keaton above all.
He was the first Batman a lot of us were exposed to.
As much as I love the show and the movies from the 60s, Michael Keaton is my Batman because that's when I was born. That movie came out,
Mm.
Yeah.
and that was the first Batman I ever saw.
Yeah, that was my first. That was my first love with Batman. Was
Yep.
my
I was a little kid when I saw that movie the first time, and I got to tell you, Jack Nicholson's Joker kind of scared me.
It was terrifying. It was the
When
best
he
Joker ever
fried that dude with the buzzer that actually electrocuted him, that
Yeah.
scared the shit out of me as a kid. Like, this is a superhero movie? Because I
Yeah.
watched Adam West Batman when I was little,
Mm.
Yep.
and reruns. I'm not
And
that
that
old.
was the thing. I don't understand how, because even in the 60s when they did Adam West, the Batman comic was still pretty dark. And
Yes.
it did not match Adam West at all. Adam West was fun and light, and it was kind of a joke.
It was campy, yes.
Yeah.
Campy as hell.
On purpose.
It was meant to be fun, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was the 60s, a fun-loving time, yeah.
Yeah, it was the 60s.
They did the Jack
That's the way it's
Peace and
going to
love
go
and
down in
happiness.
history because that's the way it wanted to be remembered as the 60s. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes. Agreed, 1,000%.
You betcha. But when they went from Cesar Romero to Jack Nicholson as Joker, that you just split space and time in half, and you reinvented superhero villains. There's still, to this day, is not, well, maybe I'm exaggerating, but Jack Nicholson's Joker is a top fucking flight villain all time.
yeah.
He is. Mark Hamill's Joker and Heath Ledger's Joker are pretty well up there, but Jack Nicholson's Joker is the one that I fucking remember that haunted my dreams. You ever
me too.
dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
He really
That is cold
that
as
character to life.
hell.
he did it perfectly between comedy and like the seriousness of the role. He just nailed it. Like,
I think Tim Burton did a superb job getting him to play Joker.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But for me, it's the Joker. Okay. It's a three-way tie for me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna explain this because
All right. Go ahead, man.
number one, of course, it's Jack Nicholson. That was the first Joker. It was just like Batman, like Michael Keaton's Batman for me.
Mhm.
Jack Nicholson's the Joker for me. You know what I'm saying? Above all. But as far as like my favorite Jokers, you got Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, and Joaquin Phoenix.
Agree.
I liked what Joaquin Phoenix did with Joker.
I like him for what he was. I don't think he was ever going to be a Joker, but I think they took that character and just made their own thing.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
That's exactly what they did with it, Craig. And I'm glad they did it that way because it totally changed the dynamic of the character and it gave you a fresh perspective. They came right out of the bat saying, we're not pulling from the comic books for this. We're doing our own shit.
Yes.
And this is what it's going to be. And
The only
I was blown away.
Wasn't it amazing? Especially at the end
So
when he
fucking
fucking when he was on the talk show. Jesus.
Yep.
That was cold
Such a
as hell,
great
dude.
movie.
Cold.
Such a great movie.
Mhm.
Like and it's hard for me to say that about a lot of movies repeatedly. I can maybe count on one hand the movies I can say that about, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
For a newer movie, especially, you know what I mean.
Mhm. You want to talk about someone that'll throw you off in a fucking performance? Edward Norton in Primal Fear.
Yeah.
Mm.
I did not see that coming at all. Wow.
I'm trying to remember. I haven't seen that.
I won't. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it. I saw it a long time ago, but I just, yeah, it's just, wow. Like he fooled everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Edward Norton, Richard Gere, and Laura Linney's in that movie.
Huh.
And he just had
cast,
the wool pulled over everybody's fucking eyes, dude. That character, Jesus.
And so, the Batman movies and the Marvel movies, some of them are good, some of them are not. I think we can all agree there.
Yeah, I'm a diehard Marvel stan, but I have my favorites and I have my least favorites, but I love them all. I'm
Yeah,
not, you
absolutely.
know, it's like my kids. I love them all equally. Although I might secretly favor one over the other. No, I'm kidding. Not with my kids. Not with my kids. I have two of them. I love them
Not when
equally.
anyone's around. Not when people are listening.
Only when you're not listening.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. So let's talk about some Star Wars. Like last night we got onto it a little bit, talking about how the three new movies are pretty much their own trilogy.
Yeah.
And don't
They
really
might as well
belong in
be.
canon.
Yep.
That seems
I would
to be
even do the
consensus
same
for a
thing
lot
with
of
the
the fandom.
prequels.
What's that, Matt?
I would even do the same with the prequels. That they're just their own trilogy that happen to be in the same storyline.
Yeah.
Just because. Sorry, go ahead, Craig.
No, you. I mean, I know there were episodes and everything, but you can't just like do that and create an iconic story and then say, well, this is what happened first. Nobody's really gonna buy it because nobody's interested in that. They know what they know. You know what I mean? You can introduce new characters, but you can't call it the same story.
Right.
That's absolutely right.
Like I agree with you there, because like say the Star Wars movies were based on books. Like say, because they weren't. They were movies that George Lucas, he wrote them and they filmed them, and like they weren't based on anything. He just wrote them and they did it. And so, but say they were based on books or like even comics back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, but they jumped ahead to episode 4 and just the first movie was how it came out. You know what I'm saying? New Hope comes first, which was Star Wars back then, because obviously they didn't think they were going to have prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was making that shit on a wing and a prayer.
Yeah. And then, but like say that happened, I don't think they would receive it as much of the stigma as they do.
The other thing is it developed a very rich cult of fan fiction that Lucas adopted, not into movies, but he accepted it as canon. And with all that time to develop this super rich universe that went this way, and then when George comes back to the movies, he's going to start way the fuck back here. Like Craig said, there's nothing you're going to do here that's going to break ground. One, because those original 3 movies, visually speaking, broke ground by every metric. Casting, visual effects, everything, every absolute part. In the late 90s, early 2000s, what on earth could George Lucas have done in the very first prequel movie to break ground like he did in New Hope? Not a fucking thing. Nothing.
Yeah, that was another thing. They came out at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Late. Way too late. Like, yeah, like
too late, and it just wasn't the same with computer graphics. It really wasn't. Like you cannot stop buying it. Will always be into.
Yeah. Some of the effects in Phantom Menace just don't hold up over time.
Well, and neither do the characters. Like, it was so organic.
A lot of them are fucking racist.
There's that.
Look at Jar Jar and fucking Watto.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're
not.
The thing of it is that they were just trying too hard with the aliens too. In the original trilogy, you had the bar, right? The Star Wars bar where they're playing the crazy music and hand shoots first. It's not the same. And in Phantom Menace and in the next 2, it's just alien species. Yeah. Okay, you're in space. I get it. You're not on Earth. This is a long, long time ago. Every movie starts that way. I'm well fucking aware of it.
You know, in the world of Star Wars, I wonder what's going on in the present because it's always a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Well, what the fuck's going on now? Tell me that story.
Fair.
Tell me that story.
Fair.
Yeah.
That is a good question.
I've thought about that for years. Like, okay, well, George is telling me the story that happened a long time ago. What's happening now?
Yeah.
What's going on with what's going on with the Republic? I mean, how far into the present are we from a long time ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Are we talking 1,000 years, 10,000 years?
6
Am I
months.
closer to Cleopatra or the iPhone?
Thank you. Hey, Disney, make that fucking Star Wars story.
Yeah, right? Shit.
So you bring that up since this is my time to shine. You brought up a
Yes,
piece
please.
of history. They're making a movie about Cleopatra.
Ooh.
Okay.
They've already made a movie about Cleopatra. It stars
With Elizabeth Taylor.
Elizabeth Taylor, yeah.
Now, among historians, the controversy has always been the actress playing Cleopatra. Do you know that Liz Taylor happens to be pearl fucking white?
Yeah, and
It's impossible to be any fucking whiter than Liz Taylor. And in the new movie, they have cast Gal Gadot.
Right.
okay.
Now, there's a misconception about that area of the world at the time, in that chances are the citizens of Egypt in Cleopatra's era were much paler than they would be today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But they're still in the Mediterranean. And the Ptolemies, that's who she descends from. The first Ptolemy was a general of Alexander the Great. When Alexander the Great died, all his generals went and split up everything.
Yeah.
And Ptolemy picked Egypt and the north tip of Africa. Come down the line, Cleopatra. At any rate, she wouldn't have been ebony or super dark, but like in the classes that I'm taking, what I'm learning is, even though that's the case, she probably still wouldn't have been allowed to sit at the front of a bus in 1960 in the United States. So they could be a little more sensitive in their casting of that character, I think.
Yeah. But Johnny Cash went through the same thing with his first wife.
Absolutely.
She was Italian, but she had a really dark complexion.
Yeah.
Back in the day, people thought they were an interracial couple, and they weren't. But it didn't matter to Johnny and Viv. You know what I mean? Love is love.
Yeah.
So it's just, but yeah, the time that the original Cleopatra movie came out, like, yeah, I can see them being like, no, let's put Liz Taylor in there.
The thing is
Hollywood liked to whitewash things back in the day.
That's actually my problem. Is it's not what they did in that case. It's that in that particular story, somebody has a theory, and that's why they're cast it that way. I do agree that history does get whitewashed all the time. Just in this particular one, I think that they're using it as an excuse.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, you're right, though. Back in those days, like, there's a good chance that they were fair-skinned people in Egypt. Yeah. Because you got to think that was the Roman Empire too.
Yeah.
At one point. So, absolutely, like, it's definitely possible. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, yeah, Gal Gadot, I think, would be a great fit for that character. She's a great actress. Gesundheit, Joe.
Thank you.
The thing is, the character in history, like the actual Cleopatra, is actually pretty fucking badass. Like,
oh yeah,
it's not some sorceress. It's not some seductress.
Wasn't she sleeping with her brother?
They all did that.
Oh my god,
that was a big thing
in Egypt. It was brother sister all the way down the line.
That's how the royalty in Hawaii wound up going nowhere. Inbreeding.
There's that. Well, the royalty everywhere did that.
Ugh. Like the
Oh, yeah,
royalty
British
in
monarchy,
Europe is
too.
all fucking related.
Yeah, well, look at how they're all ugly. Like you can tell that gene pool's this deep.
Oh yeah, there is no diving in that gene pool, only waiting.
And you're wearing those arm waders too, because you're probably stupid, right? If that's the gene pool you're coming out of, you're a basic motherfucker.
Damn.
They're my monarch. I can make fun of them.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
They used to be ours, so that's all good.
Yeah.
I know. I've listened to songs all the whole fucking time.
That's why
You
you
know,
like Popeyes.
there's an alternate history writer named Harry Turtledove who wrote a book called The Two Georges, and it talks about an alternate history where the United States, or sorry, the colonies made peace with Britain rather than fighting a war of independence. And it actually sounds like a really good read. Yeah.
It would be interesting.
Yeah, that's some nerdy shit. Just thought I'd drop that on you guys.
Kind of one of those what if stories.
Yes, it's a what if story. And Richard Dreyfuss co-wrote it with him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And Harry Turtledove, he wrote the Guns of the South series, which talks about like the South winning the Civil War, and basically, but the U.S. and the Confederate States kept waging war afterwards. And rather than trench warfare becoming a thing in World War I, it became a thing in the States. And tank warfare became a thing over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Oh my God. I know some weird shit.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Joe. I got distracted. My wife found. Did you guys see the videos I posted on Facebook with my face superimposed on like Dr. Evil and shit?
No.
Yes, I did. So, dude,
My wife just came across the Dr. Evil one and was just very, very confused by it. And I'm sitting here listening to you guys talk, and I see her face. She just has this look of confusion. So I flip a page and write my face and double underline it. And she's like, and goes back and looks at it, and she's like, freaking out. And I'm trying not to lose my shit because it's fucking hilarious.
Of course. That's fantastic.
So, oh, dude, it's fucking great. Just had to throw that in there. But last night we had our little powwow, and it went rather well, I'd say, because we didn't get too carried away and blow our wad like we did last week.
yeah.
Yes.
So we were talking about George Romero and the zombie movies. We compared Dawn of the Dead's.
Never heard.
Do I?
George Romero, who's that guy?
Who some fuckstick from Pittsburgh.
George who?
Nah.
This fucking guy.
George Romero is an icon for sure.
Yes.
Definitely
legend.
one of the. Definitely.
Yes,
one of the
you were talking about how he
makers.
was. One of us was talking about how he was pissed off at The Walking Dead. I think it was Craig. Were you
Oh
saying
yeah,
that?
he went on an entire tirade against them for a while. Like he was pissed.
And I think he had every right to be pissed off about that.
Yeah, because when you think about it, they took a good comic and stole his basic storyline.
Yes.
And tried to make a series with it, and then they even took his FX there.
Yeah.
He was pissed at the moment. He said, "Everything I did, you guys just copied." Like he was almost ready to file lawsuits. He was, and I understand it to a point because they did take his entire notion and just say, well, how far can we take it to make it a soap opera? Because George Romero movies have always been political. They've always been about survival, and there's always been like a notion that like you trust anyone, all of that. You know what I mean? And they made it into a drama. I didn't even consider Walking Dead horror.
Yeah.
I can't consider it horror anymore because it's too much fucking drama.
Yeah, exactly.
I tapped out after when the gang got to Alexandria.
Yeah.
That wasn't long after that either. I think it was when they helicoptered Rick the fuck out of there. I was, no, this is not right. I'm done.
I saw one episode with King Ezekiel and Sheba. I like Sheba and I like King Ezekiel.
Shiva's a sad story for me.
I know, dude. That's so fucking rough. But that CGI tiger was expensive.
Oh yeah, sure. But main point I wanted to touch on was like for me, zombie movies. Like of course George Romero. Like you can't not say you don't like George Romero movies if you like zombie movies. You
Right?
know,
Yeah.
like that's where they started, at least mainstream zombie movies.
Yes.
Yeah, no, they were pretty lame before he started. Like,
Absolutely.
The zombie was like almost, it was either you were doing voodoo or it was like some alien life form from another planet.
Yeah, it was like mind control instead of The Walking Dead.
Right.
Because when you think zombies, you think somebody who's zombified.
Right.
Like when I think I'm zombified, it's because I'm walking into work and I'm burnt the fuck out and I'm tired and I'm just going through the motions.
You're on autopilot.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically.
The wheels are spinning, but the hamster's dead. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that.
Yeah. And so, but like with Dawn of the Dead specifically, the original, great fucking movie. It definitely holds a place in my heart, always will.
Yes.
But in 2005, 2006, they did that remake.
Zack Snyder, yes.
Yes. Holy shit. How do you feel about it, Craig?
Give it credit. I give it credit definitely for what it is. I think he tried to do good things with it, but not a lot of it made sense. Good movie.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Direction he was taking it in didn't really go anywhere, but it made sense at the time. And as a remake standard, I hate remakes, and I think that one was one that was good. Between that and I would say Rob Zombie's Halloween are like my two top remakes. In all honesty, I know everybody hates Rob Zombie's Halloween's.
No, fuck
they
that.
can
I
go
love
fuck
that.
themselves because
It's
they're
a
like,
good fucking movie.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know.
They're
still
completely different stories. And
I don't know how I feel about Halloween 2 that he did. But
Halloween
I like
2. Rob Zombie hated Halloween 2. He only did it because it was part of his contract.
Yeah, he said that on.
He didn't want to do it.
But I did love where he took it, even though he didn't want to do it.
Yep, yeah, he still did a great job with it. It's Rob. Yeah, it's Rob fucking.
Because he's
Zombie.
a great filmmaker.
He really is.
He's just a good artist. Whatever the guy does is awesome.
It's because he's one of the last pioneers that like know horror as a celebrity. Like even it's Rob Zombie. Everybody knew Rob Zombie as a horror guy, even in White Zombie. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows this. Everybody has to sit down and deal with that because he's redoing the monsters and everybody hates it. But
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, because he knows what he's doing, because the monsters have been like a staple in a lot of things he's done.
Yeah.
Well, he says it.
Come on, where do you think that idea came from?
Yeah, exactly.
If you can write a song in 1994 and in 2021 it still makes me want to drive fast, you did something right. And I'm talking about Supercharger Heaven.
Yeah,
great song.
Yeah,
yeah. I want to drive a '69 Dodge Charger at 110 miles an hour listening to that song. I'm not kidding. With a fucking blown out Hemi in it. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, I yield my time.
I like White Zombie. I did not like Rob Zombie as a solo act.
Yeah. White Zombie was awesome, but Rob Zombie, he's got some good songs.
Hellbilly was a great album.
Yes, it was.
But
after that,
Astro Creep and La Sexorcisto, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh yeah, White Zombie is top notch for sure.
Yeah, but I think he does better as a director, to be honest.
Agreed.
My personal.
I'll agree 100% there.
Yeah. You know, one of the first reviews that Dawn of the Dead, the original one, got was the perfect movie for people who like to slow down and look at car accidents.
Yeah.
Just thought you and Craig might appreciate
That's
that.
apt.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And I got that
What's
out of
that?
a Stephen King book.
What did you say, Matt?
I said that's an apt.
Yeah.
A
Commentary on the
review.
movie.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Agreed.
Agreed. But like the remake, like going back to the remake of Dawn of the Dead, like they actually borrowed from 28 Days Later with the zombies for that movie.
Yeah.
Because if you watch 28 Days Later, I watched it with the director's commentary on one time, and he said this is not a zombie movie. These people are not
an
dead.
outbreak.
They are alive. They
Yeah.
have a virus, but they're rage. It's rage. They're just extremely pissed off all the fucking time.
I like that idea because you could tell he directly took the idea of his zombies also from The Crazies, another George Romero movie.
Yep, absolutely. Like you can see a lot of influence in Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead from The Crazies, and of course from George Romero because that's the source material. You know what I'm saying? But like as far as the storyline, yeah, similar to the original, but the zombies for me are what made it. The fast-moving, running, gonna eat your face off.
Yeah. See, I'm
you
more
don't stand a fucking chance.
Guys, I don't like fast zombies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
A zombie that can run? Fuck you.
Fuck that.
Yeah. I wasn't too fond of the idea, but it grew on me because like I will always be loyal to zombies that come out of the ground. It's just how I am.
Yeah. What's that? Craig, what is that? It's kind of a sequel to the remake they did of Dawn of the Dead or was it? Okay. What's the is it Night of the Living Dead that I was quoting last time? Like they're coming after you, Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in color. Like it was made in the late 80s, I think.
They re-released it at one point in color.
Okay. And what was I gonna say? There was a sequel to it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where the dude takes the guy down in the basement and like there's a zombie in a container.
That's Return of the Living Dead. And hold on.
Okay. That was a weird fucking movie.
And the funny thing is like Night of the Living Dead 2, Return of the Living Dead, George Romero has nothing to do with it.
Entire start for me right there. Is Return of the Living Dead. Wow. That movie brought me into horror. Like, not even gonna lie.
Who is that you just showed me? Us. Sorry.
Ready. That's one of the main characters as his acid face. I met him over the weekend and it was an awesome experience because
wow,
I don't get out much.
Cool, dude.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
We haven't talked about Craig going to the Comic-Con.
Yeah, we gotta let Craig tell his little story.
Dish.
He got out of his shell a little bit over the weekend, went to a convention, his first one.
My man met Angela from Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
Yep.
Felissa Rose.
Met Felissa Rose. I met Tom Matthews. It was a great experience because I don't get out. Really. Never been.
Yeah.
Went wild.
Just the look on your face, dude, when you
were
standing there with Felissa is amazing. I was so happy for you, dude.
Yeah,
it almost made me cry, dude. Like
I almost cried.
Just the happiness on your face, like I'm tearing up thinking about it. Like that dude's fucking stoked. That is.
Well, it's like you break barriers and you do the things you've always wanted to do because of things like this. You know what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Really why we do it.
Yeah, dude. It's why we share our geekdom with everybody.
Yeah.
I love
it.
Exactly.
Like with the ultimate goal of getting people like Felissa Rose on here, and you actually got her contact information.
Yep.
Right? So
that's amazing.
Well fucking done, brother.
Yep.
Well done.
Yeah, I've been into horror movies since I was like 5 years old, so that was a huge deal. Huge deal.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you got to do that, man. That's fucking awesome.
I felt like
I think
a member of like the horror society at that moment.
Right.
Yeah. You know how I was talking about? I was gonna say, you know how I was talking about, like, yeah, I would have been the same way if I'd met Stan Lee. Well, there's another person I'd be the same with, and that is if I got to meet Kane Hodder.
Oh, Jason.
That was a big one.
Fucking the one and only Jason Voorhees, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The best for sure. 100% the best Jason Voorhees.
Derek Mears is pretty good as Jason, but
agreed.
I'm sorry, Kane is my Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another Kane Hodder role. Tell me if you've seen these movies, Joe. Hatchet.
The Hatchet.
I've heard of Hatchet, but I haven't seen Hatchet.
Victor
Amazon Prime, brother.
Got it.
All 4 of them.
Ooh. Wait, now, okay, I've heard of them. Did he make those movies? Like, did he have a hand in making them, not just starring them? Is he like a producer or a director or something?
He may be.
So I heard he was
100%.
involved.
I just know he's the main villain.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that for sure. Like, he plays the main villain and the main villain's father. And the whole story of the movies is based around that.
Yeah.
Like, that relationship. Like, that's the premise of why the movies are the way they are.
Yeah.
They're slasher movies, of course, but
everybody
with
loves
a supernatural twist.
You can't go wrong with slashing movies, but none of you have seen Terrifier.
I haven't seen Terrifier. Quit yelling at me.
You're telling David Howard Thornton right now.
You're beating that dead horse, dude, into the ground.
Oh god.
Well, now that I've watched Mortal Kombat, I don't know how many times. I can watch Terrifier now. I have room.
Have a special episode.
I have homework to do now.
My wife insists that I've seen Terrifier. I know what the fuck I've seen.
I don't think I have.
It for life, I'm telling you.
I smoke a lot of pot.
I'm pretty sure that's a movie I would remember seeing.
Pretty memorable.
Right?
Pretty memorable.
That seems like one of those, like, hey, I smoke a lot of pot, but I don't smoke that much, okay?
No, you're never
gonna I don't know. I do smoke a lot of pot.
You're never forget you are never gonna forget any moments in this movie though. You're really not.
And that's what I'm saying. I know I haven't seen it because I don't remember it. It's one of those movies that I feel I would remember.
Yeah.
If I had seen it.
Definitely memorable.
Because, like, I can't. There was another movie. Somebody insisted that I had seen it before. I can't remember what it was.
I hate that.
But I remember watching it, and I was just like, "Yeah, I've never seen this before today."
Yeah.
Like, definitely never seen it before. I have deja vu a lot, but not that bad. Well, gentlemen. Matt, you have anything else you want to go with, bud?
Any closing arguments? Thoughts?
I will next time because I didn't bring my handbook in here.
You didn't bring your what?
For my idea, I totally shit the bed. Wait, I think I can do it.
Too many pot pies.
But no, I'd say this episode went rather well tonight.
Oh my god, this is fantastic. I think we killed it.
We covered a lot of ground tonight.
Yeah.
Well,
and this, I think this is more digestible, so certain people can view it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Also, if you're coming across this on YouTube by chance, hit the subscribe button. We don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah. Like and subscribe.
Please.
And tell your friends.
Yep. All your friends.
Follow us.
Who'll be your friends if you don't have any friends, though?
I didn't find it online.
What's up?
What did you say, Matt?
I found what I was looking for online, but not on my computer. I did that super pro just so no one would see me on my phone.
iRecipe?
So what I'm going to do...
iRecipe.
Did you just say piracy?
Pie recipe.
Receipt.
I know what a pie is, you word sorcerer.
Sorcery, Matthew. Sorcery.
Anyway.
Woo.
Crazy American word sounds.
Yeah.
Al Qaeda pies and all that. Not having it today. But what I'm gonna
Go
do
on.
is a spell of the week. And
Yeah.
if you don't know what a spell is, and that's okay if you don't, they are actions by magic users in Dungeons and Dragons. And a lot of people have there are so many varying visions of what spell mechanics are, from Name of the Wind to, you can see behind me the guy on the very top there, that is Driz de Erden in the Forgotten Realms. The magic mechanics are way different there. Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, on and on and on. In D&D, it's not a lot of thought put into it. Spells have a verbal component, a somatic component where you're moving your hands. Some have like crushed pearl and snail guts and crazy shit like that. And then there's tons of magic. I won't get into it, but what I'm going to do is share a spell of the week, and I'm sharing the most famous, by far, magic spell in Dungeons and Dragons. It is called the Magic Missile. Only a wizard or a sorcerer, not the American kind, can cast these. And at level 1, you create 3 glowing darts of magical force. Each dart hits a creature of your choice that you can see within range. A dart deals 1d4 plus 1 force damage to its target. The darts all strike simultaneously, and you can direct them to hit one creature or several creatures. At higher levels, when you cast this spell using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, the spell creates 1 more dart for each slot above. If you watch any of the Dungeons and Dragons movies, which everybody hates, but I don't mind them, but that's a whole other episode to talk about.
Yeah.
When you see what these spells look like when somebody imagines them, nerd boner. It's I love it. And that's my favorite one to look at, because the higher, when they don't say in a movie, this is level 26, blah, blah, blah. It's just, you're like, oh, Archmage, he must fucking be crazy good. And then he casts that spell and it's like 35 darts. And you're like, yep, he's overpowered. He's got a game genie on.
Game genie. God damn.
Up, down, left, right, BA start.
But there are other spells like that that do way cooler shit. That's my favorite, because when you are a level 1 wizard in the older editions of that game, you get maximum 4 hit points, and you want to have as big a punch as you can, and you never do because you're a wiener, you're a mage, so all your physical bonuses are down and all your intellectual bonuses are way, way up. So you want spells like that to balance the character out. And you die really easy, so you want to be able to hit at least once, right? But they've changed it in the game since then.
Well, awesome.
That's why I'm Mad Mage. I'm Mad Mage with magic missiles. That's a lot of fucking M's.
Yeah. A lot of M's and a lot of syllables.
And this has been Spell of the Week with the Mad Mage himself.
With Mad Mage McKeever.
Mad Mage McKeever. Yeah. Noise.
It's a lot of the same letter. I can't even stand myself.
Mad Mage Matthew McKeever.
Yeah. Or Matthew Mad Mage McKeever.
Oh God.
There we go.
I was just gonna call you Pie Man.
It would bother me if I thought you knew what one was, Craig.
Oh, shut up.
Pumpkin.
We know
blueberry.
what pie is.
This is food. My
That's why we
lemonade,
beat the queen.
lemonade pie.
That's why we beat the
gum
queen. We
pie.
can have any kind of pie we want to. It's not our fault you have to ask.
And from the Pennsylvania Dutch crowd, ham pot pie is delicious.
I'm gonna make roast beef in a pot, and then I'm gonna call it pie, and it's not gonna be pie. And I'm gonna let
As long as you put
all the
dumpling
children
noodles in
go.
it, I'm good.
No,
good.
I'm not gonna
I
do
would
that.
totally eat it.
I would eat the fuck out of it if it had dumpling noodles in it.
Not even vegetables, just roast beef. Pie.
Sold. Absolutely sold.
Pie.
When are you making it?
We are on our way.
No. Put it two. I'm not. You're not having no crazy fucking sorcery word games here. Here's this thing that's not pie, and I'm calling it pie. Hooray.
Come
I
on,
don't
we'll even
call
make you pie
ham
cakes in
pot
the
pie
morning.
a pie. It's the name of the dish.
You're just gonna cook me food
It's just the
and
name
tell
of the
me it's a
dish.
pie, and I'm gonna see it and it's gonna be like, oh, that's a fish. That's not pie.
It is now.
Oh, hey, look, there's a brisket pie. No,
It's sweet.
no such thing as brisket pie.
Yet,
Well,
Yeah.
no.
give me
I
a
think you're
fucking
onto
time.
something.
You're gonna throw it on a plate and tell me that's what it is, but
I mean, I would add noodles and veggies.
Oh,
first,
it's gonna
like
blow
some
your
kind of
mind when I
broth, but
actually
yeah,
make a
probably.
brisket pie. And
if there's a shell on the top and the bottom, I don't give a fuck what's in it. It's a pie. And you're just gonna put soup in a bowl. It's not fucking pie. That's soup.
oh my god, it's just words.
It's like being
Joe's dying.
hungover, and you're like, "Hey, that's a glass of juice," and you're gonna drink it, and it's also not a glass of juice. It's a toilet and an ashtray.
Oh, it's not. It's a pie.
It's a pie.
Somebody peed in it. It's not a pie.
We lost Joe.
Yeah, Joe's broken.
Joe's baked like a pie. He's done.
I am not baked like a pie. I am envious, Joe. You crazy bastard.
I have not had any THC tonight. I just had some dragon's milk.
I don't know what that means.
It's a beer.
It's
The
stout.
fuck?
More
Milk the
American
dragon.
sorcery,
I don't
man.
believe that.
Or American sorcery. I
You
figured a
did
mage
not
like
milk the
yourself would
dragon,
understand dragon shit.
Hey, is it Pepsi or is it pie?
Oh, it's
I
dragon's
got
pie.
my sweet tea
Dragon's
pie.
Yep.
See
Dragon's
all those
pie.
tricks.
Mhm.
Runes.
Runes.
This was a fun episode, guys.
Oh my god, I haven't had this much fun in forever.
I'm gonna make a flip book and I'm gonna show you what's a pie, what's not a fucking pie.
Then you only have like one pie.
I'm like I told
only have, like,
James.
You only have like that KFC chicken pot pie or like that frozen meal.
You guys have a saying.
What do you want, a banquet pot
as
pie?
American as apple pie.
Calendar.
And I don't think that expression makes sense anymore because you probably just mean apples or fucking bananas or a donkey. I don't know. You call everything a fucking pie.
Are you gonna show me everything in a pie chart?
Flip book.
Flip book.
You even got dad
That's
joke.
it.
You got to be like Nick Frost in Hot Fuzz when he does the.
I got the joke. I couldn't do a pie chart like that.
Oh my fucking
It'd
god.
be too fucking big.
Well, I have to have pictures on there. You're calling every old thing a pie. See this thing that's not even in a pot? That's also a pot pie. What the fuck? What?
What I want to know is why they call chicken pot pie, like you know it, chicken pot pie.
Yeah.
It's not made in a pot. It's made in a fucking pie.
Well, the filling's made in a pot. You don't cook it
How
in
do
a
you
pie.
know?
What are you, crazy? God,
It
I'm
could
not
be made
getting
in a fucking oven.
salmonella.
Could be
Hey,
Not our
baked
fault
off.
you eat frozen
I
pies.
volunteer for food poisoning. Huzzah! Hooray! Diarrhea!
It could be cooked in a skillet. Doesn't have to be cooked in a pot.
I don't trust my ability with a skillet, so fucking eat all the dicks.
Well,
Ooh,
that's
I'm gonna
your
get a Hungry
problem.
Man chicken pot pie.
Ask me why I called it that. I'm telling you why I call it that. I made the chicken in a pot, and then I put the stuff from the pot in the pie. Ergo, pot pie. It's accurate from the very beginning to the very fucking end. You are missing pie, and I don't see the pot.
Pie noodles.
The picture I sent you had a pot in it.
Barely see
The
chicken.
shit was in the
Barely
pot.
see chicken.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
sweet Jesus.
Realize.
You know what?
realize I'm
I think you're
bush
just
league
jealous.
heavy.
I think
But
you're just
we're not.
jealous. See how delicious it looks, and you're like, I can't have none of that. So therefore, it is no more pie.
I don't have a problem with how it looks. I am fat.
Matt, do you want the recipe?
You're
This
kidding?
is
Stop
pie
bitching
dough.
about it being
Hey.
called pie.
Matt, would you like to fuck up a dish from some other fucking country? Oh, okay. International incident. Woo! You just committed a fucking
now-
cultural crime, you fucking
Now we
idiot.
we need to get diplomacy
Cultural
involved.
Cultural crime.
You tried to culturally appropriate a recipe from other white people,
Right here.
and you fucking wrecked it, you animal.
You're just mad because we got to name American Pie.
I'm just outside the Arctic Circle, man. We just boil everything. You fucking put everything in a pot, put some water in it, fire in it. It's dead. Eat the fucking thing.
Poor guy. Do you not have a pot or something?
Lots of pots.
Oh, ooh.
Oh,
But
well,
at the end of
fellas.
the day, I know what a pie is. We can even do a poll. I will guarantee you show one of those. You just say which one's pie. No one's picking yours. Not one fucking person on fucking planet Earth.
I'm gonna put shepherd's pie. And then everybody's gonna be like, hell yeah.
Listen, as I said,
We'll
never
call that
once have I
bullshit out
called
too.
ham pot pie a pie. It's just a delicious dish with a fucking name.
It's got the word pie in it. You're promising pie. You
No, I'm
deliver
not
pie.
promising pie. Because
Yeah,
I
you
say
said it.
it's ham pot pie, but warning, it's not a pie.
Well, see, you're gonna say, do you want ham pot pie? And be like, nah, I'm actually in the mood for fucking pie. Not whatever the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, you want pie? Here's an apple pie.
Then I'll be good with that.
Yeah.
God.
If I say I'm bringing pie, I'm going to bring pie, but I'm also bringing ham pot pie.
Fine. I'm down with that.
Sure, it's pumpkin.
I'm gonna call it food. Despite, however,
You're going to call it ham food.
but yeah, what's in a name? What's in a name?
That's what it, really? Really?
Pie lives matter.
You're going to be
Except it's
arguing
not
now?
pie.
God.
Oh, well, gentlemen. This
Yeah.
Two episodes in, and I think we found our fucking
I think we found our niche.
Pies?
yes.
You guys don't even know what that is. You can say words now.
You know, I think
You're lumping
Matt's
Joe
approach
in with
is-
two Pennsylvanias.
Yeah, you use minced meat.
Joe doesn't know what ham pot pie is.
I don't, dude. I'm Pennsylvania dumb.
I'll bet you, if you promise me a pie, Joe, I'd get a pie. These two sorcerers. I'm not even
Joe would
going
probably
into
put mashed potatoes in it and be like, here you go.
Mashed potato
Oh
pie.
no, dude. Mashed potato? No. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Shepherd's pie, like my mom made that when we were kids, and like it was a dish she would make when we didn't have a whole lot of ingredients or a whole lot of money, and I
Hot
ate
pie
it.
comes in.
I ate it, but I didn't enjoy it. I only
Right.
ate it for sustenance. If somebody offers me shepherd's pie, I'm like, I'm not really hungry.
Yeah. No, I get it.
And you know what? And I will say this: I don't think shepherd's pie qualifies as a pie.
It's not. It's a casserole.
Exactly. It's layers. So it's not. It's
It's a
and I
layered
think
casserole, though.
and pie is just thrown around like colloquially.
I know that, but I stand by it. If you tell me I'm getting a fucking pie, that's all I want.
You're expecting something with a delicious buttery crust.
Yes, and it can have
In,
meat. It can have,
in a circle that you cut triangle pieces out of.
yeah.
And then boil it.
No.
You don't.
Fuck. See, this is it.
I understand where you're coming from, man.
Runes.
This sorcery, this fucking sorcery, dude. And I'm from the same country as you two. Jesus, I'm ashamed. I'm kidding.
But
Trying to side with him.
He's just north of
Make
me. You
America-
guys are like in this. You guys are in like each other's backyard.
Matt, you got to talk, buddy.
Oh, you got to make America a great again. See that right there?
Fucking.
It's pie. That's why we are great, because we have hot pies.
Because you don't know what pie is. That's as good
We're
as
great
pie.
because we have hot
But
pies.
since you
You're
think
not
pie
great
is
because
like
you're trying to take that away from us.
whatever shit you throw together, everything's better than that. Like, it's better than pie. Is it now?
You'll know it when PLM comes rolling through your town.
You know what? In
Pie lives matter.
I happen to have it on good authority that on West Virginia license plate it says almost heaven. Right?
Yeah.
West Virginia.
That's what you guys have to say about pie. It's not pie, it's almost pie.
Poor man.
You say, hey,
Yeah,
Matt,
but
do you want some
ham pie, almost pie, doesn't have quite the same ring to it.
It's just ham almost pie. That's it.
No. I refuse.
That's better than lying and
I
telling
don't make the
pie.
rules. The Amish do.
I don't even think the pie companies give us this hard of a time.
They don't.
Because they sell actual fucking pies, Craig.
Like fruit pies?
A pie company's never come to my house and said, would you like to buy this pie and give me a fucking bowl of soup?
I can't help it. You're still under Queen's rule.
Damn.
That's why you guys have meat pies.
She's not calling soup pie either.
Exactly. She calls them meat pies.
No, but she is calling cookies
But
biscuits.
they're actual fucking pies.
Full of gross
Called
meat.
cookies biscuits.
What'd you say, James? Yeah, cookies, biscuits.
It's a pie.
A biscuit is something you
Biscuit
put
is a
fucking
biscuit, not a
sausage
cookie.
gravy on.
Exactly.
Hey,
yeah.
that's a good idea. That's actually a good point. Biscuits
That's what
are
I
not
said.
fucking cookies.
Yeah,
That's it.
They're not.
But in Canada, it's that's the French word on most of the packages. That's all I know it as.
What?
Les biscuit.
If you buy cookies, it says cookies in English because all of our packages are double, so it's French and English.
Yeah.
It's like cookies, biscuits. That's it.
Well, yeah.
But it's not. You don't
Is it-
say biscuits in French. It's biscuit.
Oh, Mr.
Biscuit.
Rude Frenchman.
That was fucking glorious. I think that's the perfect stopping point right there.
I think that's a good way to say
Holy
see you
shit,
next time.
No, James.
See you guys.
Oh
That's
my
really-
God.